Okay, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So I've been giving some thought to how I want to handle the last couple of landings here on the moon to collect these Easter eggs. And I think... Alright, there it is. I think I am gonna take a slightly different approach. I'm still going to do like a direct descent type of mission. But I'm going to use the lander can as my return capsule. It's not the safest route, but it's going to provide some advantages. One of the advantages is that I can do this, what I just did there, have it be a slightly different shape, still fit 2 crew members, and also have like some of the extra stuff here, like the cargo storage. Oops. Is that gonna... Yeah, it's gonna do it like that. Perfect. So I can do stuff like the cargo storage here. I can stick in like some science parts on the side and have them... and have them not really in the way, and importantly, I can stick the science lab up on top so that it is out of the way, not taking up space on the bottom, and still giving us a little bit of room. Where are we going here? And still giving us room underneath, so that our landing stack doesn't have to be as tall. That's actually a very critical consideration for me at the moment. Oop. Is I don't want our landing stack to be quite as tall. So instead, we're making this really primitive kind of... not quite a LEM, sort of a weird looking thing. And we're going to be able to stick pretty good sized parachute. And also a couple drogue parachutes, because those are often good. Come on. There we go. Alright. We can also stick one of these on there, just 'cause. Missing anything for science? Yes. And we're going to want some communications. Okay, that'll work. So this this ridiculous thing should be able to get back through the atmosphere. As crazy as it sounds, I've done stuff like this before. All right, we've got our RCS to help with some of the problems we had last time. And the last thing we're going to do on this is some solar panels. All right. Oh, I lied. Almost the last thing. There we go. Alright, so now... it's going to be about getting this back to Kerbal. And, you know, one of the primary considerations I'm going with here is going to be keeping the width as low as possible. And that is very often easier said than done. Oh, look at us totally cheating in those clips. Alright. So, one of the things I've been thinking about is the landing gear. Alright, yeah, see, the landing gear will clip right in. I don't like doing that, but it's really convenient. But you know what else I'm kind of thinking? I'm kind of thinking doing it on the sides. That's not bad. So this way our lander isn't quite as tall. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not tall above the landing legs. So the other thing that we're going to want to do is make sure that we've got some... No, you know what? That's actually an interesting thought. Let me think about how to do this for a second. So, where my brain is going is to stick some solid rocket boosters kind of like this. What could possibly go wrong? There's absolutely no chance that this will just randomly explode, right? No chance whatsoever. What could possibly go wrong? Alright, I am gonna strut the heck out of this. And I'm just gonna see what happens. I'm gonna launch this here on Kerbal. Because I'm curious if those SRBs are gonna decouple correctly or what. And I'm you know, as a warning, I'm gonna revert this back. I'm testing the design. Alright, so that's not enough to get off the ground on Kerbal. I mean, on the moon it should be plenty. But we are getting significant burn time out of these engines. Which is kind of encouraging. That's very encouraging. Alright. Alright, I'm sold. We'll try it. What can possibly go wrong? And just to preserve width a tiny bit, I'm going to kind of clip those in just a little bit like that. And we're going to do a little bit more solid fuel, liquid fuel. That really ought to be good enough, because we're going to get a ridiculous amount of thrust out of these solid rocket boosters. In fact, I'm worried that it might even be too much. You know what I might do instead of that? That's okay. That's not a bad idea. I'm going to do some Oscar tanks, spark engines, and I will asparagus stage these. Yeah, I like that idea much more. Awesome. Yeah, I like that idea a lot more. Okay, so now I'm just gonna be testing the fuel flow here. Watching the engines down here. Okay, so that is working correctly. All right, that worked relatively well. I think that'll be a winner. All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do . We don't really need the ladder, but just to have it. Okay, good. Ladder worked. I always check the ladders. You know, there's always a little bit of play with where your Kerbals can grab the ladders, but it's not always really as reliable as I would like. Alright, so custom 1 is going to be toggle the ladder. Alright, now we can actually do some cargo. Now, where's our control station? Yeah. That should work, I think. And, you know, we don't need the parachutes. So instead, I'm going to take some extra EVA fuel. Yeah, it was too much to hope for. Alright, so here's Magnus 4. Oh, and you know what else I'm going to do? Just to be extra safe. Oh, you know what? Last touch. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll be fine. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, at this point, I'm like massively overbuilding this poor thing, but it's fine. Alright, so we'll have some solar panels. That'll be a little bit more robust than just those. Okay. So this vehicle is ridiculous, but that's alright. Now we're going to need our descent stage. And we have a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit more freedom, because we've got some more diameter to play with. Hey. Ah! Oh no! Alright. And some more RCS fuel, because you never know when you're going to need a little bit more extra monopropellant. Alright, that'll be okay, I think. for a landing stage. We don't need... Well, you know what? I mean, it's lightweight, so we can stick some extra fuel tanks in there. Yeah, that's fine. All right. And that's going to be an open frame. So we're going to do the manual strut cage thing. Awesome. Alright, so this mess is going to go inside of a fairing. That is going to have to... yeah, expand a bit. Not too bad. Okay. I can live with that. That's not bad for... Alright, now I gotta get this ridiculous thing to... descending from lunar orbit. While I'm thinking of it, I'm going to put one of these on here. One of the advanced reaction control wheels. Those help a lot more than you think they might. And we'll go with a skipper engine on that, because that's it's a very good engine. Fix our staging there. So now we get the usual dilemma of the first stage. And I'm kind of thinking I might do something like this with 4 mainsails. No. What do we got for engines? I think the mainsail is still going to be our beefiest engine. So I think I'll just do the conventional thing. With a mainsail engine and some solid rocket boosters. Okay, so for solid rocket boosters, do we want to go with the thoroughbreds again? Or do we want to switch to one of these others? We've also got the Pollux, which are decent. But much less thrust. But significantly less cost. The kickbacks are also relatively good value. But I don't think they're going to have enough oomph. Do we have... Alright, no, we do not have the Clydesdale thing yet. So, let's try it with the Pollux. And see how this goes. So now we're just going to have to cap these off, strut the heck out of them, and of course do our Separatron game. To pull those away and shoot them back out away from the center booster. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount these on the diagonals. And I'll redo these struts to accommodate for that. Okay. It's not elegant, but I think it'll work. Famous last words. And this is a very Kerbal design. Alright, so let's get our crew. Alright, we've already got... We got our staging, we got our control groups, we got our cargo. I think we're good to go. Nope, sorry about that. My chair's got the stupid auto-adjustable arms. I don't know if you could hear that clicking in the background. It's mildly annoying sometimes. Okay. This is a ridiculous rocket. But if it works, not only will we save the Magnus 3 mission, I might even save this design. Because this looks like it'll be a relatively versatile heavy lift 2.5 meter booster. Alright, F5 for Kraken Insurance. And off we go. And of course, if this mission goes well, and I'm able to get the next rocketry tech for the, was it the 3.75 meter tanks and engines and stuff, some of my booster design is going to be significantly more capable. But until then, it's going to be like Kerbaled to the max like this. Alright, 30,000 meters. We're doing okay. Our Pollux boosters here aren't quite, well, yeah, they're gonna get us into space. That'll work. Separation wasn't bad. Now, of course, the tricky part is going to be getting to the moon on a little bit of a weird inclination so I can get to some of those weird spots on the surface. So I'm going to try it a little bit differently this time. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Why are we tumbling? Fix that. Okay. Alright, that worked out. Now let me check, Oh, no, 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 not that. There we go. Cool. Alright. So we'll see what happens with this. Alright, we're coming in at a bit of an inclined orbit. Not... Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, it's a good weird incline. Yeah, now we're talking. Alright, look at... Oh, that second one's even better. That's a weird gravity assist. Okay. Alright, patched conics, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that nonsense is. Alright. So, hopefully this makes it a little bit easier to get into the weird... Oh, yes. Alright, now, let me just... Yeah, not bad. Doing a little guesswork there. Okay, look at that. We're all set to get into a pretty good polar orbit without a lot of delta V. So that actually worked out pretty well. Okay. Now we're talking. Alright, so the question becomes, which one of these do we want to go for? The hardest one, I think, is that one in the South Pole, because if memory serves, it's like deep in a dark crater. So let me do this. I'm going to lower my orbit significantly so that when we have a good position to get to one of these, it'll be a little easier for us. Lower that orbit. Lower that orbit. Okay. Look at that. What's that? 40,000? Yeah, not bad. Okay. Alright, so from here... Oh, you know what else we can do from here? We can run our magnetometer scan. Just 'cause. There, that'll be some science from space around the moon. And we'll do that just for good measure. Alright, I think I'm going to go for... the hard one. So it's going to be a little while until the moon does its rotational stuff here. Alright. Maybe one more orbit? Alright, maybe a couple more. Alright, there we go. And what do we have? Okay, so we've still got the trans stage, a little bit of trans stage, and the descent stage. So we're not bad. I'm kind of wishing I had put lights on the descent stage. Okay, yeah, this is not bad-ish. Yeah, and this one I think is like buried in the middle of one of these deep craters. So what I'm going to be doing here is literally just looking around, looking for the indicator on the globe to make sure that we're kind of going the right way. Very small changes in delta V, or in directional control there, can have a big impact. Alright, so right about here, it should be directly below us. Yep. So let's turn around quickly and cancel out this velocity. Alright, that may have overshot. I think it's down in that crater there, in that big mess of like complete darkness. Yeah, we've overshot quite a bit, so that's a problem. It's going to take a bit more delta V than I'd hoped. And we'll hope that our descent stage here holds out. F5 for Kraken Insurance. Yeah, I think right down here. I think. Okay, we are in the crater. We are in the crater for sure. And I can't lie, I'm a little nervous about what we're going to find to land on, if anything. Whoa, oh, oh, oops. Whoops. Minor detail. You know what, let's take this opportunity to check real quick. Alright, so we're coming down, like, right on top of the monolith. And there it is. Okay. Not bad. That was a much closer precision landing than I kind of expected, if I'm being honest. Come on, stick. 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 Alright, I might have to... Okay. This is going to be a little weird. Because our craft is moving. So I'm going to try and be quick with all this stuff. Jump out, run over there, plant the flag. Come on, give me credit for finding it. Come on, give me credit, TMA 7. Ugh, I may have to just cheat complete the contract. I don't have time to wait. Okay, and this is Helvin, so it's our other Kerbal who will go out and get the surface sample and all that, just so both of them will have had their chance. And I gotta hurry before this, like, hits something and becomes too super unstable. And I'm not going to be able to deploy the surface experiments. Because I am in a race against the clock. I'm pretty sure, because, yeah, I don't want to tip over. That's the problem. Alright, so that was TMA 7. I hate to do it, but I'm going to cheat complete the contract here in a minute. You guys all saw me get there. Right, and with luck, this will still have enough Delta V to get home. I hope. Right, what else did we have for space around Kerbal? Oh, you know what I can do? That's not going to matter there, so I can do the magnetometer scan from space around Kerbal. I better keep an eye on my fuel. Okay, it's going to be a weighty whack orbit. That is, of course, a technical term. Not bad. That's a good amount of science. And just for some diminishing returns, do we get anything? 0.5, but we'll take it. And you know what? Just because we can. Yeah, we can do that. Then I can actually do another crew report just to complete that other contract. Look at that, plenty of Delta V. Okay, so this mission worked a lot better than that Magnus 3 design that tipped over. Even though we were kind of sliding down the incline there, I'm satisfied with how this performed. The million-dollar question is whether or not it's going to keep itself oriented correctly coming into land. So we will find that out in just a minute here. And oh boy, do I hope this works. Because if this works okay, I should be able to use this design to knock out those other two Easter eggs. The last monolith and the crashed UFO. Kraken Insurance. And that's going to start getting real toasty real quick. But we'll burn up the last bit of our fuel as much as we can before things start to overheat. Just slowing our descent as much as we possibly can. And we're going to lose our engine there any second. Okay. Looks like I'm going to have to keep stability assist on for the re-entry. But it's coming in. None of our random stuff out on the sides is overheating. So that's good news. Or at least keep stability assist on for the upper atmosphere. Kraken Insurance. Drogue chutes go. And where are we? Middle of the Western Ocean. Okay. And you know what? We'll stop draining electricity. Not that we're at any risk of running out. Those solar panels survived re-entry. Not bad. I kind of wish we had a more stable touchdown so that I could have deployed science. But, oh well. Okay, that worked surprisingly well. Come on. Give me some beefy science. Oh, 677. All right. Another one to plant the flag on the moon. Just going through, all right, science from space around the moon. And the reason I'm picking those up, I mean, look at that. That's like a quick 50K. Not bad. All right. Now let's see what we can do here with 600. I'm kind of excited to move up towards the Grav Max there, because that thing provides a ridiculous amount of science in the aggregate. However, large volume containment leads to very heavy rocketry. So it's going to have to be that for right now. But I'll also do field science as the prereqs. So I've got prereqs for a lot of good stuff there. So we're moving right along. All right, so let me launch Magnus 5. And we're going to keep everything exactly the same, because that worked quite well. We didn't get any new like experiments or anything that we can run off of that. Oh, you know what? One thing we can do a little differently. Just in case. There. That'll make us a little bit more maneuverable up in space. All right, so for crew, everybody's landed at least once. Let me get a couple of rookies. This guy is really stupid, but not too brave. Not too stupid, but not brave. This guy is crazy brave. Oh, this lady is crazy brave. We're going to take her. And let's get a pilot. We don't have any pilot. Okay, he's kind of crazy brave. So we'll take him. What could go wrong? Okay. And we're going to try and repeat what we just did. Kraken Insurance. Off we go. Yeah, this booster worked pretty well. I'm going to save this design. And after we're done with these last two Easter eggs, then it'll be time to move on to Minmus. And we can have a lot of fun there, because Minmus has very, very low gravity. Yeah, this came out looking alright. I mean, I kind of wish I didn't have that bulge in the fairing, but I had to, you know, the diameter sometimes leaves you no choice. I mean, I could have easily done something similar with a one crew capsule, but I really wanted to start sending 2 Kerbals per flight. And the main reason for that is for the experience. You know, is to get the crew their stars. That's going to be very important later on, when I have like more than one mission going at a time. Because like when we get later into the game, there will probably be a point where I start to get more than one. More than one mission going at a time, to account for like launch windows and stuff like that. Alright, so let's see if I can repeat that little inclined insertion that I did before. Oh, come on. Flip it around. Now let's see if I can get away with this. Not really. That's pushing it. But we're at least going to be high up in the orbit, so it's not going to take a lot of delta V to get us into a wacky, a wacky inclined orbit. And again, we basically want a polar orbit at this point. Come on. Okay. And again, we're going to get nice and low. Alright, we are right over the light side, so that's good. Alright, so which one of these are we going to want to go for? That is the question. Let's go for the last monolith. Just because that's what we've been doing so far. So we're going to wait for our orbit to allow that last monolith to come over onto the light side. Come on. Rotate faster. The catch, of course, is that I have to pick like the right orbit to descend. All right, so this orbit will be the one. And if memory serves, this monolith is like up on top of a hill. But I believe it is a very flat landing surface. Whoop. Wrong way. Here we go. Yeah, I think it's like, it's up on top of one of these ridges somewhere here. But I've got a lot of speed I need to burn off. It might be that one. I remember it being a fairly pronounced plateau. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I think it might be that one. So I'm just going to have to hope I don't overshoot here. Once I burn off all my velocity, I'll take a look down. Okay, yes, it looks like it is that plateau. And I think that's it right there. F5 for Kraken insurance. Alright, we're looking a little bit more inclined there than I prefer to be. So let's do some of this. Let me get out of time warp. Oh, come on. Come on. All right, there we go. And we're not even sliding. All right. Oh. Oh. Wrong button again. All right, so let's start grabbing all of our science. All right, and this one counts as in the Midlands, so this is all going to be diminishing returns, of course. But that's fine. We're still getting some science. Alright, so now F5 for Kraken insurance. And we'll see if we can actually get the credit this time for discovering the monolith so that we don't have to cheat out the contract. That was kind of annoying. But I hope you'll forgive me for that. I mean, you saw I was here, it just wouldn't complete. Sometimes it does that. Alright, there we go. The custom contract stuff occasionally has minor issues. Oh boy, I just realized something. Are we... Okay, that's what I thought. We're Magnus 5. Minor detail. And that should be the last monolith. And you know what? There's a chance that looks like it might be Moonstone. Is it? No, it's not. It's just a prop. Oh well. That would have been cool. Get a second sample of Moonstone. But we've still got all those science experiments we can leave behind here. So that's not nothing. Alright, now let me... Yeah, we're verifying that we can climb up so that we don't need to take our EVA pack with us. For, what's that? Robo Kerman here. Oh, jeez. Ah! User interface hell. Okay. So now we're going to start... Oh, that might be Moonrock. Alright, but we're going to start setting up all this stuff. Alright, get our comms unit. Get back up that ladder. Can I carry 2 at a time? I cannot. That's fine. Do it the hard way. Get our little solar farm going. Oh. Whoops. Oh. Good thing they can't actually, like, crack their helmets or anything. My goodness, that would add a whole new level of absolutely terrifying difficulty to some of these missions. It's a little tedious to have to do it like this. It's like, you know, one at a time thing, but it works. You know, it's because there's just a limit to how much our Kerbals can carry at once. And I think that is the control station. Okay, good. So we're looking good on that. Now we'll get... I think that's the seismology, and then the last one is the goo. Alright, we'll give this a second to make sure it stays all powered up. Okay, good. Alright, it looks like we're good for Magnus 5. Not bad, not bad. Now, the real question is going to be... and I did it again, darn it. The real question is going to be to make sure that we didn't burn too much Delta V in the landing phase. And we'll F5 for Kraken insurance. And off we go. Goodbye, fuel tanks. Alright, so the worst case scenario is I have to do a little bit of a direct entry profile. One of the reasons I like to try and take off from the light side is so that I can do a burn like this, where, well, it's easier on an equatorial. This is going to be kind of weird. But where I can do a direct burn like this, and if I find myself like low on Delta V or something to circularize, I can at least get myself into like a direct atmospheric insertion. Because that's a technique I picked up a long time ago. If you're on the light side and, you know, you just burn east, or if you're on the side facing Kerbal, you know, and you just burn east, you'll bring yourself into like a direct injection for a landing, for, you know, an atmospheric entry. So that ends up working out pretty well. Yeah, I would feel safer with it if I was in a vehicle with a little bit more stable aerodynamics in the atmosphere. But for what we're doing, it's alright. And those experiments I left on the moon, those will slowly over time give me little science dividends. So that's always nice. And again, we're just lowering our apoapsis so that our atmospheric entry is nice and gentle. And this looks to have been another relatively successful mission. Oh, and just in case, science data from space around Kerbal. And we'll get our periaps down to 30,000 meters. Perfect. Looking good, looking good. Almost out of fuel, which is fine. Oh yeah, look at that heat shield. It's warming up. It's warming up. It's good though, it's what it's for. Yeah, they're all happy and excited in there. Alright, we are coming down above ground, so we're gonna... So, hey, you know what? Huh. Don't usually come down here very often. Uh-oh, those are mountains. Oh boy. Alright, so what we're hoping for here is that we're going to be coming down over, like, stable terrain, not on a cliffside. Oh, it looks like this is going to be real close. What is that? Oh, interesting. We've got those pink crystals. Don't see those very often, but I think we're... Okay. I am gonna send my crew member to go grab that. It's because we can. Take a surface sample from the mountains, because why not? And we're going to go grab some pink crystals. I forgot those were even on Kerbal. So, you know, on each of the celestial bodies, they added in one of the patches, there's a surface resource you can collect, like the moonstone, and I think on Minmus, it's like greenstone, something like that. On Kerbal, there's like bubo trees that you can interact with. And there's also these weird crystals. And I might... Yeah... I think I need to... Yeah, it's not going to let me take it. I think you either have to be higher level or be a scientist or something like that. No matter. Alright, I can just recover my Kerbal, and I'll recover my capsule from the tracking station. It's all good. And this should be another respectable boost of science. Oh, yeah. 396, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, and what is that going to get us? Now the question is, do I continue with one of these or do I save up? I'm thinking I'm going to save up because I got to upgrade this at some point anyway. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to save up. Yeah, there's the baobab tree or whatever I was talking about on Kerbal. You can get those with the rover arms. So I'm going to call this an episode for right now. And I'm going to give some thought to what we're going to be doing in the next episode. We're definitely going to go get the UFO, the crashed UFO on the moon. That'll be our last moon objective. But after that, there's a couple of directions I might want to go in regards to Minmus. So I'm going to have to give that some thought. But make sure to check out the next episode to see where we go from there. As always, thanks for watching.